Welcome to episode number 2 of Beauty and the Gi, the Grappling and Life podcast from the female perspective. This episode is called Getting Started is the Hardest Part. I'm Jen Eads, a white belt full of questions and curiosity about all things jiu-jitsu. In my life off the mat, I work with industry experts and business owners to help them produce podcasts.
I'm AJ Klingerman, a world champion purple belt, a little obsessed with jiu-jitsu. I, along with my husband, James, own 2 martial arts academies, Indiana Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Endurance BJJ in Central Indiana. I spend a great deal of my time training and teaching jiu-jitsu and self-defense.
AJ, what got you into jiu-jitsu?
James. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much from the very beginning. So when James and I first started dating, he was already doing jiu-jitsu. He actually told me, just so you know, jiu-jitsu comes first. And it did. That was already his passion. I totally understood that. And then, so I trained a little here and there. We actually started dating in 98. That took me a second. But we opened our school in 2000. So we hadn't been together super long before we opened our first school.
That's a huge commitment, right? Right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, I moved in with him 2 months after we started dating. So we were pretty set. But yeah, so I trained a little just because he did it more, just kind of trying to, be with him. In 2004, I did it for fun. I had a friend that was doing it, and so we kind of trained together. And then as time progressed, it was more because there was another woman on the mat. I owned the school. There'd be a woman there, and I'd be like, oh, I should go out and train with her. So it really took me some time to find my own passion for jiu-jitsu. And I don't know exactly when that started, but it was probably around that 2011, 2012 timeframe that I really started becoming obsessed with it by myself. So
it's worked out well for you.
It has. I enjoy it. I, have trouble getting work done sometimes because I'm just like, I just want to train.
I could see me falling into that.
Yeah,
I think. I initially was like, okay, I'll go twice a week. And now I'm like, oh, but if I could go 3 times a week, that would be even better.
Right? It's a 50% increase.
Yeah. And it's going to pay off someday. I'm convinced.
It will.
Oh, it will.
So what got you into jiu-jitsu?
Well, I know you from outside of jiu-jitsu, and our mutual friend, Jen, was going, and she talked about how much fun it was. And I was like, well, I want to go. I don't want to miss out on the fun. What am I missing out on here? And it just felt like a really cool thing to just to go check out. And, you had the 30 days. I'm like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. And I tried it, and now I know. But there's also a part of me in the work that I do. Well, it's kind of twofold. In the work that I do with helping people launch podcasts, but also in the volunteer work that I do with Girls Rock and teaching girls to find their voices and play instruments and stand up in front of people. You kind of forget what it's like to be so far outside your comfort zone. And this has thrown me so far outside of my comfort zone. I go into class every day knowing that I'm not going to be good at whatever it is that we're doing. And that's okay. It's okay to not be good and just to show up and put in the work and the time and learn it and practice it and drill it and get better at it. So I can feel little baby steps.
It's amazing. We don't really grow inside our comfort zone. We have to step outside of it. And it's tough to know going in, this is going to be hard. I'm going to look dumb sometimes, but it's okay. Look around. Everyone else looks dumb too. Okay, great.
Yeah, and I love the community aspect of it. I think kind of the curiosity and the push out of my comfort zone is what got me going. But I really feel like what keeps me coming back is that I have met the nicest people. They choke me. Yeah. But they're the nicest people.
I always say jiu-jitsu builds this instant trust. You get really close relationships quickly because you have to trust somebody they are going to choke you. And when you tap, they let go. Yeah. And basically, your life is in their hands kind of, Right. So that's really good to just have this instant trust and the community. I think that's everyone's bonus thing. You don't come in going, not very often. I've had a couple people say that they have come in for a community, but most of the time it's for self-defense or to get in shape or whatever. And then they find this community and they're like, I feel a part of this family. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite parts and is what keeps me coming back, not the awkwardness.
That's good for you, though.
Yeah, and I don't have to do it alone. Like, that's the really nice piece of it.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to talk a little bit about if you're looking to get into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman. So my first recommendation is do a little research. Check out their Instagram or their Facebook, their website. Do they look like a female-friendly school? And not that you can't be the only female on the mat. That's fine, so long as they are a female-friendly school. Because not all schools are, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But, just kind of check them out and see if it feels like that they would be a good fit for you.
Are there any red flags or any things?
I had it. So I do some private client work and stuff. And I had a school owner ask me to coach him. And I was looking through his Facebook and stuff first. And it was just very aggressive. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Between the words he was using and the music that was playing. And it just was very not my brand. I think that, one of the beautiful things about jiu-jitsu is that it brings people into your life that would never have been in your life other than that, all different religions and countries and, so many different types of people. Mm-hmm. But you still know who your tribe is.
Yeah.
When you see something like, okay, those are the kind of people that I can at least mesh with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are some red flags. You just, if you're very aggressive and that's your kind of music and that kind of stuff, then that's, okay, that's for me.
That makes perfect sense.
So from there, after you've kind of researched it, stop in. Mm-hmm. Just stop in. Go in, see if people are nice to you. See if the place looks clean. It's very important to me. If they don't care about the cleanliness, there's a good chance that you could get, staff or something that...
Yikes.
Yeah, stuff that you really don't want.
Yeah.
But, it's important that they care about the cleanliness. It makes you feel like they care about their students.
Mm-hmm.
So just go in and check the place out. Watch a class, talk to people. And then the other thing is, do they have a trial? There are places that, basically make you sign up for a year before you even try a class. And that's crazy to me.
I never would have done it.
No,
I never, ever.
No, I can't imagine. We've offered a free 30-day trial pretty much from the beginning, which we've been open 19 years now. And we dabbled with 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, but 30 days was just best for us. And I think that it just really helps people. Okay, I've got a month to try this. If I like it, I'll know in a month. If I hate it, I'll know in a month, So yeah, I think it's good to know that you can at least try a few classes.
Well, and what was really nice too is with you guys having 2 different gyms, I could go to Zionsville and check it out. And then I can go to Greenwood and they feel different, but they still kind of feel the same.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. And it gives you different people to be able to train with and roll with and learn from. And it's good.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have committed after 2 weeks. I would have been like, this is really cool. I kind of like it. But I think you just kind of get your hooks in.
Yeah.
And that extra
fair amount.
2 weeks. Yeah, exactly.
Hooks in. Yeah. I think that you're still, not that you're not still maybe nervous in that first month, but you at least feel like you understand how classes are run.
Yeah.
You understand, you just know what's going on a little bit. Not necessarily from the technique standpoint,
right?
But
you get a good feel about the culture,
right? The culture,
30 days,
absolutely,
which I think is probably
you can't, one class everybody might be on their best behavior if that's all you had, and then they sign you up, and then they're claws in,
right? Yeah.
So, obviously you knew me and Jen, but I don't know if she was there for the beginning. But how hard was it for you to first actually come in the door?
It was hard. For our first intro session, that was great. No problem with that. But then to actually get on the mat with other people that I don't know, it was It was hard and it was weird. And it was like it just goes back to being that whole super uncomfortable kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard, but you just have to push through that piece of it.
Right.
And once you do that, the reward of pushing through that uncomfortableness is just now these people are my friends.
Right.
And I can go cheer them on and roll with them. And it's really cool.
Yeah. So would that be your biggest advice from that first time, is just pushing through it? And
I think so. I mean, you just be open to you probably don't look as silly as you feel. I don't know. Maybe I did. I think my silly game was way up there, but they've all been there.
Exactly.
And hopefully they remember what that was like. I am so grateful that anybody that I have drilled with or rolled with, they want me to get better because it's going to make them better. Yes. And I think if you can find people like that want you to succeed, then everybody wins.
Yeah. And it's not really something you get in a lot of other aspects of your life. Like nobody's really helping you that much or really trying to build you up that much. And it is true. Like we talk about a lot of the rising tide that raises all ships. Like the better you get, the harder I have to work. So the better I get, So yeah, it's a, we've talked a lot about, but it's a great community. And so just pushing through that and being okay with being awkward and just accept it. Like, okay, this is outside my comfort zone. It's outside of everyone's comfort zone.
And I am still so out of shape. I think that was a big jolt. Like, oh my God, just rolling with somebody for 3 minutes when you haven't done anything in a while. It's exhausting and it's super frustrating.
It is. And, the surprising factor, though, is that I'll have guys come in or girls that are athletes. Like they're cyclists or they're runners or they're soccer players or rugby players or whatever. And, when they get on the mat, they still die. Like it's still hard. It's just different. There's no, people will say, oh, I need to get in shape before I get into jiu-jitsu. Nope. Jiu-jitsu will get you into shape.
Yeah.
That'll happen as part of the process.
Yeah. Don't let the physicality and what it's going to take be a deterrent. And you just have to keep showing up. And I can feel myself. I'm like, oh, I'm not as dead today as, I was a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can feel myself getting stronger and I can feel myself getting more confident. But it's only because I show up and go and because I got started.
Right. It's that when's the best time to plant a tree? Like 100 years ago. Well, when's the second best time? Today.
Yeah, that's totally it.
Yeah. Yeah. So just start. Just do it. Good.
That's good advice. One of the things that has been most challenging for me to learn since I've started doing jiu-jitsu, and probably because I run out of breath a lot, but it is just breathing, like remembering to breathe, especially when I'm trying to choke someone.
And that sounds crazy. Like it sounds like, well, of course I'm going to breathe. That's a natural thing. But there's something that when we're squeezing, especially, we feel like we should hold our breath. Like it's going to help. And I always joke, like you'd be real embarrassed if you passed out trying to choke me. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like our try this on the mat tip for this episode is breathe. Just breathe through things. And something I find that helps with that is, this is dumb, but is sing. If I can turn on music that I can sing to, or if there's music playing, or even if it's in my head, but if I'm concentrating on singing, then I have to be able to breathe.
That helped me the day that you had me do that.
Yeah.
Like that legit works.
I have a friend, black belt in Oregon, and she said that she has her girls give each other recipes during rolling, but because it makes them talk and it makes them focus on, just breathing and talking, and the jiu-jitsu just kind of comes naturally. So I thought that was an interesting thing from Hillary.
All right. So that is our try this on the mat.
Breathe.
Nice. And if you're still thinking about getting started, but you're not sure, how was camp?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So we have had women start their jiu-jitsu journey at camp, which I think is amazing. It's, it's a long weekend, but it's so much fun. And it just really introduces you to the community and to jiu-jitsu. And maybe you can't do everything, right away. It's, but
just watch me. You'll feel better.
Look around. Not everyone's doing everything. It's okay. But yeah, so a lot of women do start jiu-jitsu at camp if they've been thinking about getting into it, or if they've only been doing it like a month, they register for camp, and it really, I think, helps them fall in love with the sport.
I'm excited. I cannot wait for my first camp.
I know. I'm so excited. So May 3rd through the 5th. And if there's still spots available when you're listening to this, you can register at thefighthub.com.
All right. And to continue these conversations, find us on Instagram. I am out there at BrassyBroadJen.
And I'm there at AJ Klingerman.
And I'll have links in the show notes so that you can connect with us and you can register for camp. And we will
see you on the mat.